sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Yeah. Oh my God, guys. Hi. Welcome to the sloppy horror rating.
Totally.
I'm not going to do the whole thing like an Instagram influencer. Don't worry. Welcome to the sloppy horror rating, everybody. I'm the host of this segment. Why? Because I'm not a nerd. So let's get right into it. I'll explain it to you real quick. This is sloppy horror rating. This is where Christian Ramey, the nerd, rates the movie. We got 4 categories. 3 of the categories are worth 3 points. The last category is worth 1 point for an equal of 10 points. So let's get right into it. While we're into it, baby boy, the first category is casting.
Casting. Oh, so it's time? All right, so let's see here, Ozark Mark. I got to channel in here because it's a slasher movie, and it doesn't necessarily, you don't need to have strong character or strong names coming into it, like a bunch of actors that are known. You just have to have some people that gel well together on screen that are somewhat believable, but it is a slasher. For the most part, they're, do you remember the wrestlers in the 80s, Mark? It was like, he's just the mechanic. He's the fucking barber. He's the like, it was very gimmicky, and that's how a lot of horror stereotype characters were. And just the jock, the asshole, the slut, the nerd, like they would have just these basic people. But you needed a few good actors, I think just like 1 or 2, and they delivered on this, with Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm going to 2 on casting. I'm going to 2, and that's a strong score, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I always really agree with your ratings because I know you know what you're talking about. So 2 out of 3.
No, 2.5.
2, okay.
2.5. I'm sorry, 2.5. I have to. I'm thinking Tommy Doyle. I'm thinking. The kids really sold it too. 2.5.
2.5 out of 3 for casting. Pretty good score, if you would say so myself. Yeah. Good. So now we're at 2.5 out of 10. We're gonna go on right to the next category, and that is kills.
So I've thought about this going into this one because this is kind of tough. Myself, I'm not a huge torture porn person, but I do. I love the slashers, so I do like some gore. I'm like right in the middle there. Too much is comedy, too little is artsy. This leans more towards artsy. I'm going to have to go 1.5 because, you think about it. You have a choke out in the car, and then he, gets her kind of right at the end with the knife.
Well, the only real good kill in this movie, in my opinion, is the Bob kill.
Yeah.
When he stabs him, when he strangles him up and then just stabs him, and he's just hanging there by a knife.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think they were going for, let's over the top. I know he wasn't. It wasn't going to be an over the top gore thing.
Right.
It'll lead us great into our fear category, but I'm gonna go 1.5 on kills because it was done nicely. It didn't look stupid. And there was interactions. He killed a dog for fuck's sakes, and there were dead bodies, and so I'd give it a 1.5. It was solid.
Okay. That makes sense. They're not spectacular kills. They do have kills in them, but again, there's nothing too much special about them. They're very basic kills.
Yes, but they're statements, so 1.5.
Sure. It gets the point across. So 1.5. So 2.5 plus 1.5 is 4. So we're at 4 out of 10. We're going on to the final 3-point category, and that is, like you said before, fear.
Right, and I came into a lot of thinking about this category too. Hands down, 3 out of 3. That's what this movie was. The score, the suspense build. Before every showdown, you're like, fuck, this is one of those movies that started like the, don't go in there, holy fuck, hold it.
Yeah.
That's when you started yelling at the screen in this kind of movie because it was beyond it. Alfred Hitchcock was like the guy who, I'm not saying invented suspense, but really captivated on film with suspense versus, the bam, surprise. Carpenter was able to do it in a way that was freaky, terrifying, but it wasn't too artsy in the sense, like the fear was there. The kills were a little artsy, but fuck, man, every time you're like, Because Annie, she like gets stuck. She's on the phone, and then he's outside, and you see him, and you're like, fuck, here he is. Like, it's a lot of buildup, man. It's a lot of teasing going on.
That's some of the things that create fear is the suspense. It's a form of fear, basically.
3 out of 3, no doubt about it. Perfect category. That's why this movie has lived on so long, because it's a perfect fear.
Very good.
Watch this alone in your basement when you're just chilling by yourself. Watch it. Watch it alone by yourself.
Tell me it ain't a 3 out of 3 here, then.
Yeah.
Good. So 3 out of 3 plus 4, 7. Yes, 7. 7 out of 10 so far. 1 point left. Obviously, we know what the answer is, America, but we're going to have to ask Christian Ramey anyway for legal purposes. Do you fucks with this movie, Christian Ramey?
I do fucks with it. Gets the sloppy kiss of approval.
Good. As it should. As it should.
How can you not?
I
love slashers, but I hate Halloween. No fucking way. Not
even
here.
people that don't like slashers still like Halloween.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
It's kind of like a sophisticated slasher. At least the first one is. I guess you can clarify it with that. Mm-hmm. It has all the attributes and all the characteristics of a slasher, mainly just less gore. Which brings in the other people who aren't that into slashers can still enjoy the movie, I feel like.
It's a beautiful fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie to stimulate the brain.
It does a good job. I like this movie.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, buddy. Yes. So good. So that leaves it at 8 out of 10 for the Sloppy Horror podcast rating.
Good score.
Halloween.
Good score. Good score.
1978.
Good answer.
Bam. Bam.